Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. I just had to restart this video over because I went on like a almost 5-minute tangent, but we are on video number 13 of Beguiled, Eden to Armageddon. It's going to be a little bit longer video today, so I'm going to just leave the tangent out. Just a little bit of advice though. If you guys ever get as sick as my husband or get an infection in your jaw and get chills and cold skin and your bones lock up or your joints lock up and you can hardly move, don't wait and don't wait and not go to the doctor. And don't go to work. Call into work. Like, even if you feel like nobody's going to show up to work but you, but you and the boss, like, just don't go. Like, his boss told him to feel better, go to the doctors and find out what's wrong, like, because he didn't want him to work in pain. But he wanted to show the employees that it's important to work, like, whether you're not feeling well or not. Because these people, I guess, they just stand around at work and they make him do everything, which is crazy because he's only worked there a month. And they won't give him Sabbath off, even though Brother Lou and Sister Phyllis sent us the paper for him to hand in to his boss. He handed it in to his boss. He signed it. They made a copy so he could bring the paper home with him. But every time he brings it up, his boss, like, just kind of blows it off. It's ridiculous. And they still make him work every Shabbat. So, he doesn't really even care about the Sabbath anymore, it seems like, but he tells me every time that his boss says something about work to him, he brings up, please can you give me the Shabbat off, because his boss wanted him to start working nights, and he said, well, can you just give me the Sabbath off? And his boss said, what is that? And he said, Saturdays. He said, my religious beliefs, and his boss still just blew it off. All right, now I've cut it down to like a 2-minute tangent. I apologize. Okay, so we are on video number 13 of Beguiled, Eden to Armageddon. Okay, earthquakes and tsunamis make catastrophic history. The December 26, 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, which killed around 230,000 people in 12 countries, was just a harbinger setting the stage of serious worldwide catastrophe to come. In February 2010, a historical-sized quake rocked central Chile with 8.8 magnitudes and generated a tsunami, killing 524 people. Sorry, I had to pause real quick so I could feed the puppies, the fur babies. Okay, because Bella was barking at me, and it is kind of early for them to be eating because it's only almost 11 here, but that's okay. Okay, so things have only gotten more unstable, and the present trend we find ourselves in today began escalating at the end of 2010 and early 2011. For example, at the same time so many solar flares and animal deaths were occurring worldwide, earthquakes began to swarm in their numbers and intensity. On December 2nd, 2010, there was a 6.9 quake in New Guinea. Then a 7.2 hit California's Mexican border December 17th, and a 5.6 hit El Salvador on December 20th. A 6.2 rocked Sumatra on December 21st, a 6.5 hit Iran, and a 7.4 occurred in Japan, all on the same day. Also on the eve of winter solstice, December 21st, an eclipse turned our moon red like blood. December 25th brought a 7.6 magnitude quake to Fiji. This cycle of worldwide shaking continued with a 7.1 magnitude quake in Chile, January 2nd, 2011. Then a 6.6 quake happened in Vanuatu, and 10 minutes later another one registered 5.5 January 5th. Arkansas, where significant bird and fish kills were occurring, also encountered 50 earthquakes in 6 days from February 13th to the 18th, 2011. Which reached a grand total of 700 quakes in 6 months. That is record-breaking. Cause of this swarm was theorized to be due to just natural occurrence or to natural gas exploration in that area. Such a huge swarm was located near the New Madrid Fault, responsible for one of the most powerful earthquakes to ever strike the United States of America in human history. Earthquakes in diverse places continued February 18, 2011, as a 3.5 earthquake off Pensacola, Florida's coast shook homes 500 miles away. A rare event indeed. On February 21, 2011, a 6.4 quake hit south of Fiji Islands. Then February 22, 2011, another devastating 6.3 quake hit Christchurch, New Zealand. Well, I guess that's the name of a place, but it's still a pagan name. Okay, yeah. 2 quakes in 5 months. The earlier quake there on September 4th, 2010 had registered at 7.0 magnitudes. March 8th, 2011, Huntsbury, New Zealand had 36 million liters of water mysteriously vanish from a reservoir. This type of phenomena is increasing worldwide, where fissures and faults are opening up and literally swallowing entire lakes after residents claim to hear rumblings and sonic booms, as well as tremors. In 2007, Chile lost a huge lake after an earthquake, and in 2010, the Iska River in Slovenia went completely dry overnight. Sinkholes also steadily increased in the United States and worldwide from 2010 to 2013. Right. My apologies. It is so hot in here. I had to go change and I had to feed my pups. There is a big screw missing from my chair. I don't understand it, and my chair keeps tipping now. And I already put a screw back in it this morning, so not seeing where the other screw went. Beanie. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. Alright. Honshu, Japan was hit with a 7.2 quake March 10th, 2011. Then March 11th, 2011, Sendai, Japan was rocked by the 4th largest earthquake in recorded history with a 9.1 magnitude. Its huge tsunami traveled the Pacific Ocean and impacted Maui with 12-foot waves and California with 8.1-foot waves. Aftershocks in Japan were felt at magnitudes of 7.1 with 8 to 10 aftershocks per hour, continuing for days. After 12 days, 3/11/11 to 3/23/11, these enormous aftershocks totaled 731, with many having magnitudes over 6.0. Then on Saturday, March 12, 2011, Nagano, Japan, even experienced a 6.6 quake from another fault line. On March 18, 2011, a rare event shocked residents in Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, Deltona, and St. Augustine, Florida, who experienced a bizarre ground shaking and rumbling that still remains totally unexplained, but mimicked an earthquake. The east coast of Honshu, Japan, had another quake with a 6.6 magnitude, March 22, 2011. Then a 6.1 and a 6.2 quake rocked Miyagi Prefecture, March 24th to the 25th, 2011, near Tokyo. On March 24th, 2011, a 6.8 quake hit northeast Myanmar and shook buildings as far away as Bangkok, Thailand. And later that night, a 6.8 earthquake hit Tarlay, Burma. Honshu, Japan's coast continued to be rocked by a 6.1 March 29th and a 6.2 quake March 31st, 2011. Such widespread shaking were perfect examples of earthquakes in diverse places. Okay. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Mark 13:8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. Matthew 24:7. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from Shamayim, or heaven. Luke 21:11. Several nuclear plants were shut down in Japan due to damage and lack of electricity from the devastating earthquake of March 11, 2011. A nuclear power plant called Fukushima Daiichi Complex became totally disabled near Tokyo, immediately emitting radioactive vapors. Fuel rods started a meltdown, and threat of nuclear catastrophe began as its uranium core melted through an outer containment shell, releasing a wave of radiation. Hundreds of thousands of people living near this site were evacuated. Japanese officials at the plant said radiation vapors released into the air were safe at first due to an ocean breeze. But the U.S. aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan, about 100 miles offshore, detected significant radiation in the air. News media was used to downplay the problem even before rods started melting. Fleeing travelers from Japan arrived in airports of the United States of America testing positive for radiation. This led to food being banned in America from Japan as radiation levels in seawater off Japan's coast spiked to an all-time high. Air monitors began registering radiation over the United States of America from our Pacific coast to Midwestern states like Colorado. Radiation fallout grew to over 14 states, showing up not only in air, but in rainwater samples. These states include Washington, Ohio, Nevada, California, Arizona, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Florida, Alaska, and Hawaii. Sorry, 1 second, guys. People worldwide were wondering why more assistance was not being given to Japan to help stop nuclear leakage. Did Japan officials not want help? With technology designed by NASA's Space Center, which invented suits for our astronauts to travel through the Van Allen radiation belt to the moon years ago, you would think at least we could have helped clothe those poor men fighting to keep their nuclear reactors from a meltdown with safety apparel. Our reluctance makes one wonder if we really ever sent a man through the Van Allen belt. Puzzling. Only time will tell just how much radiation was really released, as well as the ecological impact it had. Looking back in history to Chernobyl, April 26, 1986, just one reactor failed, not 6 in close proximity to each other. That was a year before my husband was born. It was considered the most nuclear accident in mankind's history at a level of 7 on the International Nuclear Scale, INES, and lasted only 2 weeks. There was no jet stream over Ukraine, and they had electricity as well as manpower to contain what they could, but a radioactive cloud did spread to Russia and Belarus. Japan's nuclear situation was much direr, as their whole country was devastated by not only an earthquake but a major tsunami, leaving them without power to cool reactors. Japan resorted to using seawater to cool their reactors, which corroded them. This was not a good idea as a last resort to use seawater because it set up more environmental dangers, both in the air and water around the facility. Nuclear fallout quickly spread to the jet stream, and radioactive clouds were able to travel great distances before completely dissipating, thus contaminating other parts of the world. Japan was in economical crisis already, but having an earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster all at the same time, all together, was absolutely devastating. Such widespread disaster put great stress on our entire world's ecological system like never before in all of human history, as Fukushima was much larger than Chernobyl. In fact, December 6, 2011, Japanese formula after radioactive caesium was found in it. Oh, they had to recall. Wait, hold on. Japanese milk powder producer Meiji had to recall 400,000 cans of baby formula after radioactive caesium was found in it. Beef shipments had already been banned in August, and rice was banned in September due to caesium contamination. It will take a long time for Japan to totally recover. During November 2011, a disturbing report was released by a team of International Space and Earth scientists along with experts in disasters, predicting an increase in dangerous and unpredictable weather patterns due to changes occurring in our sun. Along with weather changes, there was a growing concern over how many earthquakes seem to be happening in places rarely plagued by them. Please remember the United States Geological Survey, USGS, changed its Richter scale by lowering it 1 degree when Charles Richter passed away in 1986. Earthquakes after that time, when compared to those before 1986, even though they are the same Richter number, are really 1 degree greater in magnitude. This fact is always left out when media is comparing quakes. They are not comparing true oranges to oranges. Next time we will be reading Volcanic Unrest Intensifies. And the next one's a little bit longer, but we'll read the hurricanes, cyclones, typhoons, and hailstorms set records. It's just kind of hard to fit it all in the title. But 1 second. And now it's time to praise Yahuah. This song is called Last Days, and I'm going to sing the whole thing. That's why I'm giving you guys the name. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No trap from the wicked shall prosper. No snare from the devil shall prosper. Yahuah knows who are his. Do your utmost to show yourself approved. Be ye not deceived by wolves in sheep's clothing. For in the last days there will be blasphemers and evildoers. Do not subject me to gossip and slander, because I will turn and walk away. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No trap from the wicked shall prosper. No snare from the devil shall prosper. Praise the Most High for His loving kindness. The Ruach HaKodesh sustains me. Do not subject yourselves to the wicked. It will only ever end in strife. Do not cast your pearls unto swine. Yahuah says, stay steadfast. Keep my commands, for I call you mine. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And purify your hearts. Cleanse your hands, O ye sinners. Purify your hearts, ye double-minded. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No trap from the wicked shall prosper. No snare from the devil shall prosper. Hallelujah. Toda Rabba, Abba Yahuah. Thank you, Abba Yahuah. And I love you all with an everlasting love, as our Abba Yahuah and the Shamayim loves each and every one of us. Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth.